First at 4, so much heartbreak after 3 children are killed in a car crash, plus the shocking connection to Instagram. We are live with the story, and Kim is working on your forecast.
Well, it's not a lot of snow, but it's enough to make the evening commute a little bit slippery. We'll do some exact track radar street level mapping coming up in just minutes.
Taylor Swift speaking out about the ticket chaos her fans have suffered through. Find out why the pop star says she's also very frustrated.
It's not the kind of thing you hear most teenage girls willing to talk about, but these two own it. I'll explain.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, it's one of those stories that just breaks your heart. Lincoln Park police are investigating the deaths of 3 children after a rollover crash. 2 others are injured. Now, this happened not far from the Southfield Freeway, and the story gets worse when you hear about the ages of the victims and what was happening before that crash. Sean Lay joins us live with the very latest. Sean.
Truly heartbreaking, truly unbelievable here. I'm going to walk you through, Karen, and everyone watching, exactly what happened here. As a matter of fact, you can follow the skid marks here. We're talking about, in the front seat, a 14-year-old girl driving and a 13-year-old, in fact, taking turns driving a car very fast, losing control, hitting the curb, coming this way, and then tumbling end over end, slamming into that tree, tumbling into that fence. Now, Jennifer Kruger lives here. She ran to this car. It happened at 9 o'clock last night, but there was nothing she could do. Security camera footage shows you just how fast the team was driving on Seacott, approaching Porter here in Lincoln Park. A 14-year-old girl driving 70 to 80 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone, driving over railroad tracks and instantly losing control. We can't show you what happens next. A horrible crash. The vehicle veering to the right, hitting the curb and tumbling into a tree, then into a fence. That driver badly hurt but survived. A 14-year-old passenger is in critical condition. An 8-year-old girl in the back seat was ejected through the sunroof and did not survive. 2 very young boys in the back seat also did not survive. We have been able to confirm that the kids were driving around in the crossover-style vehicle, joyriding while broadcasting on Instagram Live. Even the horrific crash was on the social media site when that driver lost control and crashed. Jennifer Kruger worked as an EMT. She says the crash that ended up in her Lincoln Park yard was the worst thing she'd ever seen. The vehicle was packed with children, young children.
I wish I could have helped them. I'm like, I was freaked out when I found out they were kids, and I couldn't help them, and I couldn't get near the car. I mean, I didn't even know if the car was going to blow up.
Back here live. Let's talk more about that Instagram aspect of this, broadcasting on Instagram Live right up to the very moment of impact. We saw the video. We cannot show it to you. It is absolutely devastating. This has been a fluid situation, Karen, all afternoon. Right before we came on the air, we finally heard from Lincoln Park Police. They updated this situation, saying the 14-year-old is in stable condition, believed to be driving, passenger 13-year-old in critical condition. 8-year-old did not survive, 15-year-old did not survive. Updated age on another passenger in the back, 18-year-old, did not survive. Now at 5 o'clock, more about the security camera video and also Good Samaritans, Jennifer and another man who tried to help. Back to you.
3 children killed. All right, thank you, Sean. We'll check back with you tonight at 5. Well, we do have some breaking news from the U.S. Justice Department as Attorney General Merrick Garland has just named a special counsel to oversee investigations swirling around former President Donald Trump. Garland says the special counsel will look into efforts to interfere with the transfer of power after the 2020 election. Plus, he'll review the presence of classified documents at Trump's Florida estate, Mar-a-Lago. Garland says this became necessary when Trump announced his intention to run again in 2024, and he's likely to face current President Joe Biden. A prosecutor named Jack Smith is Garland's pick for the job. He will start immediately.
Such an appointment underscores the department's commitment to both independence and accountability in particularly sensitive matters. It also allows prosecutors and agents to continue their work expeditiously and to make decisions indisputably guided only by the facts and the law.
Right now, we haven't heard from former President Trump, but we will have an update on this story when you join us tonight at 5. Okay, so some football fans are making some surprising trips to Detroit to see an NFL game move to Ford Field about 24 hours ago. The league and officials in Buffalo, New York, decided to move the Bills game against the Cleveland Browns to Detroit. Fans are showing up in the Motor City after a massive snowstorm slammed New York and safety became a big concern. So Bills ticket holders are receiving first access. If any tickets remain, they will go on sale to the general public tomorrow. The game is Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's a look at what people are facing in Buffalo right now. A blast of lake effect snow has dumped nearly 2 feet of snow on the ground in some places. New York's governor had already declared a state of emergency in the western part of the state yesterday. The snow is not finished. The snowfall could reach 4 feet with whiteout conditions. So what about our weekend forecast? Some of you may have seen some snow starting to accumulate. So what can we expect? Let's take a peek in with our forewarned weather with Kim Adams. Hey, Kim.
Hey, you know why we really run that Buffalo video? It's so that when we look at our video here in Metro Detroit, it doesn't look so bad, right? The radar, we've got some light snow showers, but the timing of it is falling right during rush hour. So there are a few slippery spots on the roadway. So let's get into some street level mapping here. Starting with Wayne County, we've got snow in Dearborn, Melvindale, just a few flurries in Lincoln Park and Southgate, also over to Westland, Plymouth, and Canton. Northville getting a few light snow showers at this hour. It goes all the way out to the west into parts of Ann Arbor. Head up to the north in Oakland County, and we've got some snow showers in Kego Harbor, also in Pontiac over to Troy. And in Macomb County, it is snowing right now in New Baltimore and in Macomb, but a few flurries in Mount Clemens. Big temperature change, though, over the next couple of days as we have temperatures now in the 20s and 30s, but here's what it feels like. We're in the teens. It gets even colder tomorrow morning. I'll talk about it in the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Kim. Pop superstar Taylor Swift is speaking out today on the Ticketmaster chaos that surrounded her new tour. She says it's been excruciating to watch mistake after mistake happen without any recourse, and she was assured Ticketmaster could handle the massive sale. Her statement also said, quote, "It's truly amazing that 2.4 million people got tickets, but it really pisses me off that a lot of them feel like they went through several bear attacks to get them." Swift also hopes she can provide more opportunities for fans to sing her songs together. It's not the kind of thing most teenage girls talk about. In fact, lots of women and men can get a little squeamish when talk turns to periods. Now, 2 girls over in Port Huron are trying to change the tone of the conversation. And as Paula Tutman shows us, they're also hoping other teenagers will follow their lead.
So, you know, a lot happens in high schools and middle schools, especially for young women. In fact, this is the place where some young women actually become young women. And it doesn't have to be embarrassing or traumatizing, or you don't even have to feel a stigma, at least if you take a page out of Cassidy and Kenzie's book.
I have maxi pads, size 2 pads, size 4 pads.
They're sisters with a dual mission: demystify and destigmatize talk of periods, and then make sure every teenage girl has what she needs to manage hers.
I feel like there is a stigma around periods and feminine hygiene products. I go talk to my grandma and she's more like, well, we didn't even talk about tampons in my day.
Cassidy, a 17-year-old at Port Huron North High School, and Kenzie, a 12-year-old at Holland Woods Middle School. Students in the Port Huron School District say they looked around, saw what was happening with their peers, and decided that, you know what, you just shouldn't have to be embarrassed or impositioned to have simple supplies to manage your period.
That's the stigmatism of gross, dirty, shameful. It's all these negative terms, and I feel like with this we help encourage some of the more positive terms of just hygiene.
And so they started the Period Hygiene Network.
Everywhere should have something like this. And who carries coins? Because in the coin slots,
we don't have the coin ones either in here anymore.
Yeah, nobody carries coins. They don't even have them in case you have a coin. But women's pockets don't exist. So we can't carry coins with us, so we should be free products.
Since March of this year, they've been collecting high-quality supplies.
When my own daughter approached me with this and said, "Mom, we need to fix this problem," I couldn't agree more.
So that girls can easily and conveniently have what they need in school.
A perk pack?
Perk pack?
Yes, we're very big into acronyms. So, Period Emergency Resource Kit. We do have disposable underwear. So this is what they put on when they're going, if you're on your period.
A little note.
The note that's in it that just tells you what it's about, what's in there, and just we hope you have a better day.
They may not feel comfortable going down to the office to get supplies, so they would call home not feeling well, when in all reality, they just needed some supplies, in which this program has funded.
We have a guide already written on all of the troubles we went through, because obviously there was some trial and error in this. So we have a guide of how we did it, how we keep the baskets, what's in the baskets. And so if people reach out to us, we would love to help them.
They're normalizing what's normal. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Paula. By the way, Period Hygiene Network has a fundraiser on December 2nd, and they are also looking for teenage girls from other districts to join their mission. We will put some information on how to reach out or perhaps help or learn how to start your own mission on our website. Click on Detroit.com.